Thank you.
Yes, my name is Innocent Govea.
Oh, you are innocent?
Very innocent.
Okay. I know you do that. Okay.
Yes.
So there's a good job. I like it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So there's been issues of cartels, and Kudata Gure has been named as one of the members of the cartels,
Sure.
And he has been accused of buying people like General Chiwenga cars. And Kule Pilan, spokesperson for Jozan
Who is
Kobe.
that?
Kule Pilan, I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Okay. Who is Bugin?
One of the members of Tsenengamu.
Yeah.
Yes. He has said that Kudata Gure bought you a car. So I would want to hear if that is true. Yes.
Innocent.
Yeah.
I will give you an innocent answer.
Okay.
Number one, those politicians who are filthy and botable are buyable. Okay? I'm using Chinotimba lexicon. Some of us are too expensive to buy.
Yeah.
I can only be bought by aspirations of the people of Zimbabwe, not goods. And those people who make those allegations are people who think that politics is about material things. And that when you get a car, or when you get a seat, or when you get a stand, then that's the definition of politics. For some of us, politics is defined beyond personal issues. I'm an advocate, not a Mickey Mouse advocate, a real advocate. I earn a salary, and I work for my things. So I would not want to be bribed by a debt man. Tagwire is a debt man. I have no contact with Tagwire. I have problems with the way he does politics. I am not capturable. I am not a person who would be found in those sort of things. Yes, I drive a Land Cruiser, but certainly a second-hand Land Cruiser, which we actually bought at a car sale. And we are a modest party. We don't go for these lofty things. You will never see us driving those expensive cars that you are alleging, because we don't believe in those things. I had to be responding to foolish people's foolish aspersions, but I can tell you that far from it.
Thank you, President.
That Tagwire is nowhere near the MDC. I've seen something that was written to say he gave coupons to the MDC. Coupons to the MDC. This party is sponsored by its members and its supporters. If you ask the MDC people, they will tell you that they have been supporting their party in difficult circumstances. The president of the party does not earn a salary. Neither does the secretary general, or even any member of the standing committee. We all contribute out of sacrifice, service and sacrifice. We don't earn a salary, and we don't need to, because it's a people's project. We are doing it for our country. So I saw somewhere where Joao, and I actually got it for the first time, that Joao was claiming that he supported the campaign. The tragedy of politics is that, unlike elsewhere, the player does not choose the supporters. I can't be going and saying, you can't support me, you can't vote for me. I had 2.6 million votes. MDC does not have that number of people. So clearly some are ZANU-PF, some are from Mnangagwa's family, some are from Mugabe's family. But I can't be saying, don't vote for us because we don't believe in your politics. It's about numbers. Any support, as long as that support does not contaminate our ideological purity and our strategic and policy direction, we will not worry much about that. We are a big party, so we have big support from all corners. But certainly not this kind of thing. When asked Tagwire, he knows that we have certain allergies. Oil and water can't mix. It's like chalk and cheese.
Thank you, Excellency. Last question.
I just wanted to find you.
But innocent, are you answered innocent?
Yes, I'm full answered.
Thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to get your reaction and response to the EU statement that was released recently, where they spoke about the deteriorating human rights issues and their continued embargo on certain individuals and companies.
Well, we are not happy that ZANU is causing problems for our country. In other jurisdictions, it is terrorist organizations like Al-Shabaab, ISIS that cause ungovernability and instability. But in this country, it is those in government who are the authors of instability, who are the authors of ungovernability. How? Because of their policies, by omission and by commission. Right now, why should our country be debated in Europe on account of what we have done or not done? Why should our country be debated in the halls of Washington? It's because we have a lot of deficits. It's because we have done things that are bad against our own people. Why would you rape women? Why would you kill citizens who are demonstrating? If I were Mnangagwa, I would give drum majorets, trumpets, and the policemen to accompany those who are demonstrating. But we will never do that because, you know, fearful men, scared men, always run away from their shadows. They know that they have not gotten the mandate from the people. So yes, the EU's position very much on point on the issues. Number one, there have to be reforms. Number two, there has to be genuine dialogue. Now they can't call for genuine dialogue if Poland is a genuine dialogue. They know that there is no dialogue. It takes two to tango. We, the light, must converse with darkness. And you know darkness. And their representatives. That's what they're calling for. So yes, it's a good statement, but we are also worried that there is no good progress on the political front. Literally driving our country to be a candidate for discussion in the capitals of the world. We hold ZANU-PF accountable for whatever measures that are being placed on the people of Zimbabwe. And they must remove those measures through good behavior. They must stop beating up people. They must stop unleashing our patriotic soldiers on the people. They must stop abducting people. They must stop treating citizens as common criminals. They must stop treating stakeholders in the affairs of the nation as stakeholders. Why treason charges against MDC leaders and MPs? All those issues are unnecessary contaminants of our environment. Thank you, colleagues. God bless you. We really appreciate your time. Zipo Mkwambi, industry, we have a duty to make sure that we call people to order. And that's what we did. And you see a difference. Masvingo must be one of our sub-provinces, just like Manika. And indeed, it's going to be. I went there, I know the mood in there. That was just Masvingo Ebe. But in the rural areas, people are solid. They support the movement. They believe in change. But what they want is effective coordination. So those are issues we are dealing with. And I've instructed organizing and the National Chair's office, the Chair Tabita Kumalo and the team Yanachibaya, to work on what has to be done. But you can't be a leader who is not a lead. There must be a cap to things. Things can't just go. We can't be a rolling stone that gathers no muscle force. MDC must be an effective organization. So, yeah, we've dealt with that, and you see the difference coming. Of course, you're always having people cry. That's the nature of a big family. People always cry, complain. But as a father, you must know which one is a fair complaint and which one is a frivolous complaint.
1, 2, 3.
Elian Charlie from 263 Church.
Elian?
My question is in relation to the recent court ruling in Malawi. Given that we came from an election where the court ruled, what's your statement on the election from the ruling from Malawi?
We are so excited that on the continent we still have bright spots and promising, outposts of justice. I hope that other courts in the various capitals of Africa will also continue to be independent and dispense justice without looking at which party we belong to. We are so happy we are in touch with our colleagues in Malawi. We are celebrating together. We are working together to make sure that they receive justice. And I want to salute the unit that you saw in Malawi. The Malawi issue was not led by political parties. It was led by citizens. Just like the issue in Sudan it was not led by political parties. Of course, political parties were the engine, but you must always have citizens come in. This is what I was telling Blessing. Citizens must always be citizens united for action. That's what you have seen in Egypt. When citizens are united beyond political parties, they can achieve far much more. Because political parties playing a role. But our problem here is that everyone wants to outsource their freedom to MDC. And not just MDC. Chamisa, what are you doing? I'm doing a lot to keep the flame of hope aglow. And we must all support that flame as citizens. So yes, Malawi has done very well, and we are so excited. We'll continue to support them in every manner possible, morally, even materially where need be, and where the laws allow, so that we achieve democracy in the region. South Africa has been outstanding in having free and fair elections. We want that spirit to be in the region and on the continent. Not to have disputed elections every time.